Hi, my name is Richard Hutton and welcome to the Exponential Fund, the place where you learn to invest and absolutely crush average market returns. No, I have not moved. I'm just visiting the family for Easter. Sorry for the shitty audio quality, but it is what it is. Let's get into it. So, for this week, the performance of the Exponential Fund was very bad. Macro environment. So the portfolio made minus 9.99%, whereas the S&P was down only 2.45%. It is what it is. Let's get into some tweets. But before that, on Monday, I put on a trade. I bought more C Limited. I may have mentioned that in the last video. Don't remember. Why? Because that is the largest company that is also growing fast, that is also on a massive discount. So that's the closest I get to a short-term trade, where short-term means anywhere from a few months to a couple of years. But anyway, I did tweet this thought, which is, if I were to sum up my epiphany in investing, it would be like this. Follow the trend, but not of the price, but of the sales growth. Right? So essentially, buy a big company that's growing fast and sell when it stops growing fast. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice. This is only my opinion, blah, blah, blah. But that's the point. That's because any new technology follows a predictable S-curve adoption, right? So as production ramps up, costs come down. And because fundamentally it solves a problem, it's superior to what came before, more people will buy it, right? So sales increase very steadily and predictably. Profits, however, not so much, at least not in the beginning, because many of these, great big tech companies invest very aggressively in infrastructure, and thus net, they're losing money. So current profits are not a good indicator of how the business is doing. That's why many old school, experienced investors missed investing in Amazon, same with Tesla. So, all right, on Wednesday, it was a popular day to hate on Netflix because it was the first time in a decade that they lost subscribers. Yikes. So this may be, at the end of the S-curve. And I do have Netflix in my portfolio, the Exponential Fund. But what does my rule say? My rules say keep a stock as long as it's growing its sales by at least 10% per year. And even though the number of subscribers went down, the sales went up by 9%. So yeah, it is below the threshold, but I would only exit the position if next year, when we get the report for 2022, sales were below a 10% growth, right? Just because there's a bad quarter, that doesn't mean I'll exit. They could do something to turn it around. I don't know. So Netflix went down 35% in one day, and I bought more. Actually, I added 50% to my position. Right? Now, granted, it's quite a small percent of my net worth. I wouldn't put everything in Netflix, but it is what it is. There was a big hedge fund manager, Bill Ackman. He lost almost $500 million in Netflix in 3 months. Yikes. And he sold. So next were Tesla earnings on 4/20, and I tweeted this. Most Wall Street analysts were surprised how high Tesla's earnings were. I am not surprised that they were surprised. So it still seems like a huge portion of the investing community, especially traditional Wall Street, does not understand Tesla. What I'm about to say is just my opinion, but there has never been a company so great like Tesla. They are pushing the limits of what fast growth means. There has never been such a large group of intelligent, ambitious people. So the achievements that you're able to make are like so far beyond anything that has ever been seen in the market that it seems unbelievable. And if you were actually to put in your models what Tesla itself said are their goals, you get to such ridiculous numbers that the analysts do not have the courage to say it, to actually model that, because the numbers would be ridiculous. Like they would have to say, yes, Tesla will keep growing at 80% per year, net profits for many, many years. Tesla will reach 100 trillion in market cap. Like if they were to say this, to put into a report, they would be absolutely ridiculed because everybody else wouldn't get it. And this would be, the outlier. And we see the good example with ARK Invest. They do put out very bullish targets. And they are, laughed at. Well, less so lately, but still. So, Tesla's doing very well. Moving on. On Thursday, I trimmed my Tesla position in the exponential fund. I made 16% in 2 months. Just rebalancing because it went up 10% the next day. Then, here's another thought. You either become an investor in disruptive innovation, or you will become a former investor. Ignore this at your own peril. And to wrap up the week, on Friday, I trimmed my Vertex position for a 19% gain in 2 months. And with that money, I bought more Shopify, which was getting fucking creamed. To wrap up, here's another lesson in relevant versus irrelevant. So, you may or may not have heard that Bill Gates still has a massive short position in Tesla. That is very bad for his reputation. I thought he was, for saving the climate. So how come he is actively betting against the company which is doing the most to help transition the world to renewable energy? It is dubious. Like, it is one thing to not understand Tesla stock, to say it's overvalued. Fine, that's just incompetence. But to bet against it while saying you want to help climate change, that's like teetering with malevolence. That is ridiculous. For many years, I kept hearing just regular people shitting on Bill Gates with like ridiculous conspiracy theories. Like, he'll put a chip in us with the vaccine. Like, okay, that's obviously a crock of shit. And I thought it was just randomly attacking the richest guy. And I dismissed it, just like they're attacking Elon now with completely fucking stupid claims. But in the last, year or so, my opinion of Bill has degraded massively. And probably starting with his divorce. I was very surprised when I found out, like, what? And then I read that he was having affairs. Even if his wife okayed on it, still bad. That's no good. And then, ties with Epstein, and apparently, sexual harassment in the 2000s being the reason why he stepped down, and him giving health advice while being fat. And now this was the fucking final nail in the coffin. Shorting Tesla while claiming to support climate change. No, not support climate change, supporting the fight against climate change. Yikes. It does not seem that he is who he has been portrayed to be. And there's other people like that who have crafted public persona, which is divergent from their true personalities. Anyway, so this would be simply ideas in relevant versus irrelevant. Because Bill Gates shorted Tesla, and I am long, and millions of retail investors are long, it's like there has been created a direct funnel from Bill Gates's bank account to ours. Obviously anything can happen, but if I'm right, and Tesla does go up a lot, then money from Bill Gates's account will go into mine and ours. Justice. Till next time.